Yep. The mics are hot.
1 2 1 2. We in the building.
We are in the building for an exclusive.
Like we never left.
Like we never left. Back again. Like these microphones have something on them. I don't want to say that because we need sponsors. I was going to say something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're back on an exclusive, or back on this exclusive episode to talk about the upcoming fight, the sequel. No, the trilogy.
The trilogy.
My bad. The trilogy.
The trilogy.
We are talking about the heavyweight collision of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. LT, how you been, man?
Gucci, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Rejuvenated. Feel a lot better than the last episode, to be honest.
Yeah? Good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, the topic at hand, man. How do you feel about this and the developments? And do we still see this on the 17th happening? 17th of July, that is?
So, backtrack. This came via a legal injunction, a court decision, because Fury was scheduled to fight AJ.
Absolutely, yep.
And Deontay pressed the issue. He had a point, and it looks like he's validated
for his rematch clause.
And so now we got that out the way. Now we're getting pushed back a little bit. So
let's talk about this rematch clause.
Okay.
If we talk about the technicalities, there is some Bill Cosby stuff happening in there. And I say Bill Cosby stuff, not talking about what he was, the horrible stuff that he was doing. I'm just saying the lawyer work was impeccable. Finding all these loopholes around that clause, because technically Deontay Wilder did not exercise that clause when it was supposed to be exercised at the time that it was supposed to be exercised. And people moved Fury, or what's his name? Eddie Hearns?
Okay.
Anthony Joshua's people
DAZN,
moved fast and, supposed to be happening in the future, the blockbuster clash of the British heavyweights. And Deontay Wilder went ahead and took it to the legal hands. And his lawyers did a damn good job, because the timing was amazing, especially with how he was promoting, saying things on social media. And then he pulled this thing off. I mean, that boy nice. That boy good.
Is he crazy like a fox or what?
That boy good. His paper is good. Because thinking about it,
and people get a misconception because he's from Alabama and he talks a certain way.
That boy good.
But whoever on his side, he had his ducks were in a row,
and his paper must be long, because now to go through those lawyers, you're versing not only Fury, but you're versing Eddie Hearns. You're versing that whole potential amount of money they were supposed to make.
Oh my goodness!
In September.
You cost a lot of people some money.
So that war was not just one lawyer. It was Deontay's lawyers versus a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
And he still found a way. That's the first victory. So I think this fight is going to be, they fought 4 times, I would say. If we're taking, because the legal fight, I think, is the most tiresome thing, because people sitting down talking about some legal jargon.
That it is.
Finding little holes in statements, little words that could be turned, little things in contracts that you could dispel, little misunderstanding and misnomers in statements and things that you signed, dates, and how dates can be reflective of a certain time. And you could use also stress. Stress is a thing you could put, like stress and mental not mentally being present. And lawyers are good. Lawyers are freaking good.
They can be conniving.
That's their job. They're good. That boy Deontay Wilder is good, man. Round of applause for him. He got his rematch.
Right.
But let's slow walk this dog.
And then now that all that happened, we lead up to a date, and then the recent news is that.
Wait, let's slow walk the dog a little bit.
All right. Okay.
So He got his date.
Okay.
He got his date.
Got it.
He approached this like amazing. I'll give credit to Deontay Wilder, man. He knows how to work. Somehow, for a heavyweight fighter, he's pretty savvy on how to work the media. He did some things that are questionable. He fired his coach. Started working with Malik Scott. Mm-hmm. Malik Scott, you know what he does on Instagram. I love him. He's an amazing boxing mind, but he's a very polarizing personality. The OnlyFans with him and his wife, like he calls himself the odd guy.
Okay, I have no idea about that.
He's popular. He's popular. You may not know it, but there's that side of him where he does he's interesting. He's like a Dennis Rodman of boxing.
All right.
Right? Paints his nails, does whatever.
Malik Scott.
Just interesting.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. That's the guy you choose to train you. You go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, his mansion. Everybody's on lockdown there. Everybody's not they are all there. Malik Scott, his son, everybody's there. His girlfriend, everybody's in the estate of the Deontay Wilder Bronze Bomber.
And they on OnlyFans using his Wi-Fi.
I don't know about that. I'm not subscribed. I don't know what they do on OnlyFans, but I know they have an OnlyFans together.
Okay.
Women will tell us, you guys watch that. I don't know. But I just know he's an interesting cat. And him and his son are there because he trains his son. He does videos showing his son's little fundamentals. He chose Malik Scott. His videos looked interesting. His style of fighting. I'm breaking it down based on how I see what Scott is teaching him. A lot of leg movement, a lot of switching within punches, and of course he's not going to show you everything, but weird little tweaks, hitting, moving to the side, moving. And I'm slow walking this before we talk about the big bomb that happened. If we look, all of the fights, they all had different tempos to them, different feels to them. The first fight, it was a fill-out fight, but it was a boxing class, but a fill-out boxing class. Second fight was a walk down. Never seen Deontay Wilder on her back foot, moving backwards, fighting, and he looked bad. This training was switching, hit, switch, move to this, hop here, hop there, hop here, hop. I don't know how. I'll let you talk. You've been seeing those same videos.
Right. And so the question is, can you teach an old dog new tricks? I'm looking at the timestamp, and they last fought February 22nd, 2020. Their fight again scheduled July 17th. August?
July 17th.
Scheduled July 17th.
July 17th. July 17th. Wait. July, it's in July, but July 24th, or we can double check here. I'll give you the truth here. So it is scheduled for July 24th.
July 24th. Yeah. Is that enough time to reprogram? Well, wipe clean the hardware and reprogram Deontay Wilder?
To be honest, that's yet to see. I've seen it happen before where just a change of a trainer makes a better fighter. We've seen that with Lennox Lewis moving on to, after he got knocked out, moved on to the style that the Gronk gym was bringing. And shout out to the legend, R.I.P. Emmanuel Stewart, and the legendary gym in Detroit that later on kind of rejuvenated Lennox Lewis's career. He also worked with people like Vladimir. I mean, he switches a lot, and that type of person has worked with older fighters is what I'm trying to say. And also, to be fair, Tyson Fury, the last fight, worked with that gym. The aggressive style, the walk down style, the no, You have to be in good condition to fight like that too.
Right.
Just being there, cutting the ring off for your opponent, putting someone in a situation that they're not comfortable with. They have to be really good with how they switch stance and how they move.
I think you have to be in good condition in general, but I think it takes more energy to move backward than it does to move forward.
Absolutely. Especially when you're getting tagged.
I mean, that lactic acid.
Yeah. So now let's move on to present proceedings and what's been happening lately and how.
Right. So we're about 2 weeks away?
2 weeks
from the
away.
Fight.
Yeah.
Scheduled date. Mm-hmm. But as of recent, we found out that one of the camps had been in contact with COVID-19.
Corona.
Here we are, 2021, midsummer, and we haven't escaped it yet. Mm-hmm. It hasn't just magically disappeared. Mm-hmm. The election came and went, and it's still around.
Still around. Yeah. Fury's camp had a form of an outbreak. This could possibly jeopardize the date. The fight is still on. It's just the date. How do you think this affects the fighters and the readiness and preparedness? And is it a good... Okay, we're going to look at both fighters, right? I'll say this. I'll be honest. I don't think I've had COVID, but I may have had COVID. Mm-hmm. I was sick at one time, and I recovered. I don't think I had COVID because I never got checked. I stayed home, quarantined, did all that. But my endurance has never been the same when I did like my mile running. Personally, and I'm not a top level athlete like them dudes. Now, looking at it in a Tyson Fury guy who, even if he shakes this off.
I mean, was it him or was it someone in his camp?
That's a good... that information, I don't think is out there.
They disclosed it? They haven't,
But let's pretend it was him, right? Mm-hmm. Would you take on the fight of your life that depends on you burning every ounce of energy in your body to fight this Alabama nightmare of a fighter? Or do you, when you hear the date changing to a possible date in September, are like, whew, now I could recover? Because, COVID ain't no joke. People be losing weight. It messes with you.
So this guy was talking about he wanted to be 300 pounds coming into the fight. He's saying it at the press conference, right? Some people were wondering, is he just 300 pounds because he's been living high off the hog? And you're just gonna build that into your
getting 6'9", 300 pounds at 6'9" is now really unattainable.
I mean, well, no, it's not. But even like when we see basketball players, we know what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it also, this virus, okay, it attacks certain things different ways. It has lingering effects, and it's not a cookie cutter thing. So
yeah,
whether September is enough time to recover or not, it remains to be seen. Because some people get over the virus, but the effects,
yeah, they last. Like I know people personally that have not got their smell back or their sense of smelling certain things. Like, and you don't know if anything is as what's the word when there's a medical term for when a condition gradually gets worse. Mm-hmm. The same thing as eyesight as you get older,
right?
Or like, does it
gradually?
Like, is it gonna? Because it attacks the lungs. It affects your cardiovascular, period, right?
Progressively.
With breathing, I know boxing is about breathing. You're wearing a mouthpiece, so degenerative is the word.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Does it have any degenerative nature cognitive, like your speed of thinking, how you anticipate blows, how you're aware. Are you really in there? Because it does also affect your thinking because people hallucinate with this stuff. Like there's so many things that, bruh, if you had COVID, you better not be in the ring on the 24th. If you had COVID like in the last month, why would you fight? I know basketball players hopping back in, and they even said that about Westbrook after he had COVID. He needed some time. Like, it does affect you especially a top level athlete. I just drive a car and go to work. But if you're like really running up and down, or you're boxing and you're doing 12 rounds and all this, bro, sit your butt down. That would be the smartest thing for you. But again, I don't know.
And see, I mean, sit down. I don't know, because a virus is a virus, and a virus has to run its course. Yeah. And hate to compare it to some things that it has been compared to, but I've seen people with viruses, and what they did was sweat it out, and that's how they got it to run its course. And
how about this? Some people are like, they have the virus, but they're asymptomatic and they don't even know they have it, and they're just walking around. And look at it like this, right? Teofimo, right? Mm-hmm. He had the virus, but
was it him?
Yes.
Okay.
He was the one, and it was up to like a day to weigh in. So he was sick the whole time. But this dude he had a whole camp. He had a whole camp, so he was probably doing, I'm assuming in camp, you're not doing 12 rounds. You're probably doing like 32. You're doing something crazy. Beyond. And he's not feeling, and he's a young dude, so maybe it affects different bodies differently. But I'm sorry, I'm not trying to profile, but if you're Tyson Fury, you dealt with addiction, and you're a heavy dude.
That's where I'm going. That is
we know King Kong said he has high blood pressure. He took high blood pressure medicine that later on he was saying that was not no performance enhancing. I'm just saying blood pressure. So you're a big dude. We know most big dudes do have a little bit something wrong with their heart.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to put that on him. I don't want to be that guy, but you're not Teofimo, who's 21 years old. You're not Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell. When he had it, one of the first basketball players, and he's like, "Nah, I'm okay. I'm just chilling in the hotel." But anyways, I don't want to get into the COVID conversation because I know YouTube algorithms track all this COVID stuff and they put flags on stuff because people be anti-vax and all that stuff, but we don't want to get into that. But let's now move out. Let's pivot to Deontay Wilder, the person who has been preparing for this, waiting for his moment, forming like a hungry dog.
Yeah.
And they tell you, hey, wait.
When we get back to training, right? So that's what we're talking about. How does this affect the fight? Mm-hmm. It's more training, right? Mm-hmm. So we're looking at, what's that, 3 more months? July, August, September.
Yeah.
So let's just say 2.5, right? You get to a point in your training, and I assume where you kind of taper.
Yeah.
Right. You're peaking.
Yeah.
And you're not doing as much quantity, but more quality.
Right.
And it kind of messes up with the scheduling of that per se, right? Mm-hmm. Where you think it's time to taper, and actually you're kind of in that middle phase a little bit longer, right? In that middle phase, just a tad. So you're going hard. Mm-hmm. This is a long camp, right? How long are camps? 3 months, 2 months?
I don't imagine this is an extended period of your camp being because I would only thinking of this as not rugby or football or even track camp. Thinking of this as a mind you versus you type of camp where you're defeating your urges for food, time with your family. You're trying to be mean. You're trying to get into that aggressive guy. You have to turn that switch off for a little bit. Now you have to go back to like 3 months prior to where you need to get ready. Because you can't be ready 3 months because sometimes it's bad to be ready for a long time. Anything, you burn out. You burn out and you be like, why am I doing this? You be like midway through your run and you're like, bro, why am I doing this?
That's why
and your body could crush.
That's why these are the best people in the world though. Like,
and your body could crush.
I mean, you look at a Floyd though. Floyd's always ready.
Let's see, man. Floyd walks in his fighting weight. He's always in.
Floyd's
He's
always
like always in his fighting weight. But like I'm truly like Deontay Wilder to his fairness. He's always
don't say that because Floyd is like some people say Floyd's like 160 walking around. Some people say that he walks around. From my sources.
I also stole Floyd buys everybody drinks and he's drinking water, and after that he's having he always has a bicycle in one of these cars in trucks, or he runs. Either he's riding a bike or he's after leaving the nightclub he's riding his bike for a few miles, or he's gonna run from the
fighting.
So like he's a little different. So I'm just looking at it like you've been pushing it hard for however long with Malik Scott. Now you hear this news.
Right.
Your body gets into a weird moment like, yo, should I relax or should I keep going? If you keep going, people get, if you run too much, they call them hairline fractures.
Right.
You know, depending especially if you're a bigger dude. If you're running all the time.
Yeah, you make adjustments,
Make adjustments.
Get off your feet.
Maybe the pool.
Get off your feet, get on the bike, get in the pool. There's all kind of different alternative things that you can do these days.
So you've been around training your whole life, right? You coach.
Right.
Is there something called overtraining?
Absolutely. And that's why we use, for lack of better words, most people understand the word taper, where you decrease quantity and you just hone in on quality as far as the reps.
Right.
I mean, certain aspects, certain things you can overtrain.
Right.
But is boxing one of it? I don't know. It's not.